I'm Hussein, and I'm here with Frank and Sister Rashida, and we're going to be talking about the strategies for raising children in the United States.
Specifically Muslim children.
Muslim children. Okay, anybody want to begin? I'll start it off then. What I've discovered in raising children in the United States is that it's a challenge. When I started having children, I was a Muslim, and as your children begin to grow up, you begin to understand the first thing that you need to teach your children is Islamic education, etiquettes, and things of that nature. But once kids, I found, entered school, they became introduced to a different world, and it was that world that presented for me many of the difficulties I had in raising my children. Sister Rashida, what about you?
Well, my sons were raised in Hyde Park, which is a multicultural, multinational community. So there were other Muslims in the school, so they weren't like the lone rangers in their environment. But I agree that peer pressure can present a big problem in raising children, period,
right.
But especially probably raising Muslim children in terms of the things that we do a little differently than other people, our diets specifically. Right. My sons ate their meals at the school, but before they entered school, I let them know that my children didn't eat pork, as did a number of Jewish parents. So that didn't turn out to be a really big problem. On the days that they served pork or pork-containing meals, they made other meals for the Jewish children and the Muslim children. It was sometimes an issue when our holidays would occur because I wanted the teachers to know that my children wouldn't be at school, but we have the difficulty of not being able to tell them exactly which day that's going to be.
Right.
So there were some opportunities actually to give a little dawah, in that regard. So, but yeah, I do agree that school is probably the place where they are introduced to a lot of the things that we would rather them not be introduced to, or at least have some input prior to their introduction.
Right.
So.
What about can you see the difference between today and when you were starting school as a kid in the United States? The temptations, the distractions from the type of moral life that your parents wanted for you?
Definitely. It was a lot easier when I was young. I'm 59 years old, so okay. I was in school in the 50s and the 60s, and things were very different. No matter which religion you adhered to, there was a sense of morality and ethics in the entire society that seems to be missing today. Our teachers could actually discipline us in school.
Right.
They could spank us, and they did. And when you got a spanking in school, it was your hope that they would not call home because you were going to get another one when you got home.
Right.
So you take your spanking at school and say, please don't call my parents. I won't do this anymore. Now the teachers can't touch the children.